everybody. Welcome to this next lesson in the online workshop. We hope you're enjoying all the lessons and learning a lot.
Again, we love being creative, we love being artists, but we have to focus on this first. Otherwise, we might as well just do it as a hobby. So there's actually kind of formula that goes with this. When we were talking to you about that PPA benchmark survey that we found so important, one of the biggest benchmarks we discovered so that we could kind of have a way to gauge what we were doing and if we were doing it correctly was that PPA recommends that retail studios have their cost of goods at 25% or lower. So if you got a retail storefront, that's kind of your benchmark. If you're a home-based studio, you tend to be able to be a little bit more profitable, dollar for dollar, I guess. So you're keeping more of the money that you're bringing in just because it's more affordable to run a home-based studio. So that cost of goods, they say that you should keep it at 35% or lower. So that kind of gives you just two different goals to try to attain, to know where you are and to know how to fix things and be better.
So for example, if you are a home-based studio and say you gross $100,000 in 1 year in sales, then you know that looking back on your year, if you kept your cost of goods at $35,000, then that means that you are profitable and you're within that range of 35%. So that's just one example to kind of put it into perspective. So at our intensive retreats and workshops and at our one-on-one consultations, this is something that we really value, and we really want to, sit down with you one-on-one and look at your pricing structure and work out this really specific intensive worksheet to make sure that your cost of goods are at an okay place and that it supports your business model. Unfortunately, we can't do that through this computer screen with you because we don't know where you're at.
Can't talk to you.
Sorry.
But with that, we take that cost of goods and then we also create a business model based on that. So we're determining your cost of goods based on the products that you're creating. If that works, because it doesn't always work once you figure that stuff out, plug it into your overall business model, and then from there you kind of determine the amount of shoots that you would need to do throughout the month or amount of clients you would need in order to pay yourself what you need to be paid. Sometimes this requires a lot of reworking until you get it right, until those goals are reasonable. If you're spitting out a goal like, I need to do 35 shoots a month, you know that there's a lot of different things you need to manipulate in order to get that right, whether it be your overall expenses or what you're charging or the products you're including. So
a lot of moving things around to make it fit with your business model and what you want your life to look like with freedom.
So we say draft out exactly what your fixed expenses are and include your own pay within that, what you need to pay yourself in order to sustain the life that you would like to lead and have the freedom that you would like to have. And then create your kind of average package and what you want to offer your client, the package you want them, that you think somebody's going to be booking the most of. Within that package, all of your cost of goods are listed, and you're figuring out that you are either at that 35% home studio or the 25% cost of goods retail studio, working that out, plugging it into that expenses, and figuring out what your goal is and how many shoots you need to do. So, and again, with this, do not guesstimate your expenses. Do not guesstimate your cost of goods. If you're off by even a few dollars per product that you're creating, that could be detrimental overall. So you want to be really, really thorough with this.
So even though we can't really sit down and do this worksheet with you, we just want to give you one example of just a really general overview of kind of a simplified version of what we would do with you.
Exactly.
All right, guys, so here's our example. Keep in mind, this is really general. It's not very specific at all. So don't take this, word for word, or don't try and do these numbers exactly. It's just giving you a really just basic overview
of how we put these numbers together for absolutely everything we do. All right, so we're going to walk you through what fixed expenses look like. Again, how we mentioned before, these are expenses that you have every month, no matter what. So those look like rent, utilities, insurance, internet, marketing, savings, credit card. Most important, your pay, what you need to get paid in order to, pay your bills, your personal bills, not your business bills. And then, of course, there's a lot of et cetera, miscellaneous things that you need to keep track of that you'll want to total up. We just came up with this, again, very just estimated figure of $6,245 for our monthly fixed expenses.
All right, so now this photographer is thinking, what's my average package going to be? Maybe it's going to include hair and makeup. It's going to include 2 outfits for the client to change. And then it's going to include an 8x8 boudoir book. So for this one, we're thinking a press printed book from Bay Photo.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to now figure out, what should this package cost? Like what, that's a really important question. That's what this whole thing is all about. And so to be able to figure that out, we have to know, what is the cost of goods for this package, for this client? How much is this costing us to put this on and produce a product for this client?
Mm-hmm. So we were kind of, again, totally estimating here with basic numbers, but we're saying that we're going to pay our hair and makeup artist $75.
And we know that's low, but that's because we want to make sure that we're taking a commission off of the hair and makeup. So if the hair and makeup artist charges $125, then we're making a little bit of money off of that, and then we're sharing the profit there with the hair and makeup artist.
I mean, she's using your space, and she's there because of the marketing and advertising, the efforts you've done so far. So you should be taking a commission for sure. It should be part of your profit. An 8x8 press printed book from Bay, let's say that's 48. Packaging and thank you cards for this product. All right, so let's say delivering digital images on a USB in a case, a nice design through Bay Photo. They have really great packaging. Let's say that's 25. We always factor in the occasional mistake because we're human, we make them. So obviously you're not going to make a mistake on every product, but if you make a mistake here and there, you're covered and you don't have to stress about it too much.
And for the digital images, that's totally a preference thing. You don't have to include that. This is just maybe thinking, if they buy this package with the 8x8 boudoir book, maybe you're also going to deliver those images that are already retouched in the 8x8 on a USB for them. So it's a little extra bonus and a lot of value for them, but without taking much time from you.
Exactly. So this total comes to $166 for the cost of goods of this product. So now we have to figure out what our minimum package price is going to be. Now, you remember us mentioning before in our very long-winded explanation was that for a retail studio, so let's say a storefront studio, PPA suggests that you need to be at least 25% cost of goods of the overall package. So if we're looking at $166 to produce this the products in this package, we want to divide that by 25% to get what the overall minimum, very, very minimum package price needs to be, and that's $664.
But then we're also thinking, well, maybe I want to run a special. I want to have a little promo card that I'm going to be giving out to get people to come in with an incentive. So thinking, okay, we'll add $100 little padding onto that price so that we know we can discount it up to that amount, up to $100 is the max. So then our package price has to be $764.
Exactly. So that's the very minimum price we can charge for this package. So then we're looking at our monthly fixed expenses that are the $6,245.
And so from here on out, what we're trying to decide is this price point going to work with my overall business model and what I want my life to look like? So, if I'm a stay-at-home mom, I only want to shoot 4 times a month. Is this going to work out? That type of thing.
Are you going to make enough money to cover your expenses and pay yourself? So like Kimmy was saying, what we're trying to figure out is how many shoots a month that we need to be doing to cover our fixed expenses and paying ourselves. So if your monthly fixed expenses are $6,245, now here's the tricky part. That is your fixed expenses, but we have already removed the cost of goods money and we've put it in this kind of business model. So what we have to do is we have to take that money and add it on top of your monthly. So we were looking at a cost of goods of about 25%. We have to take that 25%, add it to your monthly expenses. Am I explaining that okay?
Yeah, it's a little tricky to understand, but how much money do you need per month to cover everything, including your cost of goods?
So we're going to add that 25% back in. You can do that easily by multiplying it 1.25. So the monthly gross we need to get, the amount of dollars you need coming in every month is 7,806, or for this photographer, this kind of imaginary photographer we're talking about, is $7,806. Now then we're going to divide it by that package price, that minimum package price we came up with. So dividing that by $764, telling us the amount of shoots we need per month is 10. Now that's kind of the magic number right there. Can you do 10 shoots a month? Do you think you could find 10 shoots or find 10 clients a month realistically? So this number is a little bit of an aha moment for everyone. Sometimes it's scary as heck, and then you realize, oh wow, okay, we need to change something else in this whole equation. Or sometimes it's like, I can do that.
Right.
I can make that happen. Maybe you can't make that happen immediately, but you know in a few months you could make it happen. So, and this right here is a really basic business model, a really basic understanding of how this whole thing works and how you'll actually be able to write yourself a paycheck.
What?
Yeah. Awesome. So I guess that wraps up our little example here.
Yeah.
See you guys on the flip side.